GPR Grand Prix, and today we are racing around Austria, full quali and 36 laps. And my headset is dying. So I'm going to need to sort that out. Okay. Chuck in GPR as well. There we go. Right. Hello to the one viewer that's watching. Just let me sort something out. Right. My laptop's being slow. Okay. It's just me commentating today, no one else, so that's going to be fun. So if I do miss anything, I am sorry. Let's get this up. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why does it do this? I don't know what's going on with this shit. There we go. It's all working now. Wow, it's gonna be a lovely race, isn't it? Really commentated by myself once again. How many drivers? What? 17 drivers. Meanwhile, my league, WKF1, is only fucking getting... Well, hello Gambo. Yeah, WKF1 and fucking... Another league is only getting like 11, 10 people with such dead attendance. These are still fucking getting like 17. It's mad. Hey Gambo, what are you doing? You on PlayStation? If so, do you want to commentate with me? Because I can just invite you. I don't want to commentate by myself. Please. If you're on PlayStation... I think you're on PlayStation. I don't know. But if you are, beg you commentate with me if you're not busy. Oh, Cambo, You boring. Oh, for God's sake. Hurry up and get home. Hello, Justin. Aston for the win. Well, you better drive quick then if you want to win. Got no one to commentate with. So dead. Don't know what the fuck Elliot's doing. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, beg someone come and commentate with me because it's so dead. Oh, I like commentating by myself, but then I also don't because it just gets boring. But I like commentating whichever tune did its job. Yeah, I like commentating by myself so then like I can just not have to worry about interrupting anyone, but then it just gets boring doing it by myself. Oh, dear me. What other comms guy? Who's the other comms guy? Who is the other comms guy? Because George Russell's racing, Elliot's not able to do it. So who's the other comms guy? Yeah, Elliot can't do it. Yeah, Nan can't do it. Who's Elliot? He can't do it anymore. So it's just me. You're stuck with me. Because I don't know what Elliot was doing. But yeah. Could be another Ferrari Red Bull battle today, but we'll have to wait and see as we do have a full quality. So, but then obviously the race isn't won by quality, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens during the race. Down to 2 people now, kind of depressing. I'm no longer commentating in the other league, in the Thursday league, because me and Elliot got kicked from it for making sexist comments, because there was a woman driver, and then she started taking people out, and I was like, typical woman driver, and then I woke up the next morning, and then I got kicked, found out I was kicked. And we are readying up. We're going to ready up. What am I looking attendance, that's what I'm looking for. Oh no, absent reasons. I am. It's Jesus. Cameras, outcomes, oh. I know you are, Sam. We are underway for quali 19 drivers, 18 minutes. And everyone, let's get out. So as we wait for the drivers to come out. So we're up to 20 drivers, not too sure, as a Red Bull of Malik. Malik is the first driver out, and he is ending his brand new Red Bull as transfer window was open for him to switch teams. So they got the Red Bull engineer and owner decided that they want Malik with his pace, so the partnership of Malik and Saya now could be an interesting battle. And could we see a charge from Malik? Let me just get a standings up. Let's see where Malik is. There, Malik. Could we see a late charge for Malik? Is quite far behind, but in his new Red Bull, who knows what could happen as he's boxing again. Strange. So we'll spectate someone out. Shilka is on board with them, heavy braking into turn 1. Trying to take too much cover on the entrance and exit, but he doesn't, and he gets a good exit for a car up ahead. Pop a nice toe down the next straight. Oh, maybe not. Car keeps out of the way. As they run has been disqualified, blocking the pit. Gets good exit at turn 3, now heading towards turn 4. Leg braking for Strilka, gets a decent exit, not using as much track than what other drivers would use, and into the double right-hander and towards the end of the middle sector. 46.0 for the middle sector, and cruising around this track up to the final 2 corners, keep within track limits, trying to lose the car. Does both, and runs wide, and that invalidates his lap time. Who else is there? Raptor comes on the final corner. A bit loose on the exit, comes across the line. It says 106.74 the first lap. F1 scenario is on a lap now. Is on a lap. I don't know if he's backed out or not. I think he's backed out, so he is not on a lap. The Merc of Luke is spun on the exit of turn 1 as Fire Legend in the other Alfa Romeo goes provisional pole of 106.5 heat max. Puts that Alfa Carry in P3, followed by Isaac in P4. Now the time starting to come in as F1 scenario is now beginning his next lap. Gets held up by the McLaren of Revlon. I'm going to have to get used to some new names because there's some new people, I believe, in this lobby. But Wayne set to 107.3 and puts his Williams in the P3 as Malik is on a flying lap now. Maybe there's rain. There could be rain in the rain. That's probably why he's on the enters. But or he could be setting a lap time to save tyres. Don't know. It's Justin goes P5 with his lap. As really he's getting a bunch of understeer going around this middle sector. He's going to be losing this huge amount of time as George Russell is out of Wally. Lads there, but not to worry when he comes around the final corner on the intermediate tyres, comes to the line and sets to 108.9. So maybe you think it's going to be enough. That'll be actually, that's actually George Russell out fully. So at the moment, I forgot it was full quality. Velocity at Plimble, George Russell is definitely out as well as Bayron. And Strelka is at risk for being eliminated. You got hit. As quite a lot of drivers are on the intermediate tyres. As Casper is setting another run on the same set of softs, I believe. As he comes towards the middle sector, 11 minutes left of Q1, and this is anyone's time to get eliminated. 46.2 runs wide and loses the rear on the exit, and it's done well to keep the car going. Sam, why have you left session? Did you get kicked? As Vin is on a set of medium tyres, as Rossi's invalidated his lap, but Plimble is on a flying lap at the moment on medium tyres. As he comes towards the turn 4. Oh shit. As Plimble comes to the end of the middle sector. He's got a half of Velocity up ahead of him, who is on the and it's very slow. That's unfortunate, unlucky. As Plimble comes round the final corner. Doesn't invalidate his lap time, comes across the line, it's 106.1. What a lap from Plimble. Maybe he should have had his lap time invalidated, but he is on provisional pole for this Q1 session. So, Vin, who's still yet to set a lap time, is currently on a flying lap on the set of medium tyres. Middle sector 46.3, and it's at a decent, probably middle sector. Now coming up to the final two turns, keep it within track limits, trying to get stretched by a car ahead. Don't run wide, keeps well within track limits, up towards the line and sets a 106.6 and goes P3. So all that's left is for Saya. Saya is in the drop zone at the moment, but is on a flyer of a lap at the moment towards the middle sector. Can't find it. As middle sector 45.0 from Saya, and is flying at the moment. Okay, pretty at top tier lap. I would say is So it comes around the final corner, comes across the line, and will set a 104.8, 2 seconds clear of Klimble, who did set his lap time on the medium tyres, but 1 second and 2, like near enough 1.3 seconds behind Klimble, behind Sayer Klimble is. That is an outrageous lap from Sayer. His velocity is now on an outlap on first set of softs. Clearly it didn't work for him. Stroker is still yet to set lap time with 8 minutes left of the session. Casper and Malik's gonna need a better lap time to get out of this Q1 session, as he's on the verge of being eliminated. Quick middle sector 45.5. And it's gone purple in the middle sector as it comes around the final 2 corners. Will this be enough to see him through into Q2, or will he have to go again? As he comes across the line and sets a 105.6, and that is going to be more than enough for Malik. So Saya and Malik both through into Q2. Roman will need to go out for another lap to join his teammate in Q2, and he is on the medium tyres. Velocity is currently on a lap, so this one right on board with him for his lap, and we've had a poor exit, so he's going to have to go on another lap. As Casper is on a flying lap as he comes towards turn 4. No, turn 3, sorry. Round turn 4 into turn 5. Up towards the end of the middle sector. Purple in the middle, but it's a 46.0, not the quickest. Looking white is showing purple. Round turn 7, turn 8 into turn 9. And round the final corner, turn 10 up towards the line. DRS wide open and sets a lap time of 106.8 and goes P8. Roman currently on the lap now. Can he join his teammate in Q2, or will it be heartbreak for the Ferrari? There is still 6 minutes left of the session, so he will have enough time to get back into the pits and set another lap time if he's not happy with his position after this lap. He comes across the line and goes P2 of 105.5. That's plenty. So it's a Red Bull and Ferrari checkerboard of 1-3 and 2-4, followed by Vin in the Mercedes in P5. Not so well for Luke, who's down in P10, but at the moment is safe and is through into Q2 with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left of the session. Let's just call you JW. And the Williams is on an in-lap up probably. The Cassia. I don't know. Oh, Alpha. So velocity, because of course it goes P4. Goes P4 in the Haas of the 106.0. So pretty much 4 tenths off of Malik. So velocity could be a potential for a race win, but with 4 minutes and 45 seconds left, JW, Isaac, and Strelka need to set a better lap time, or need to set a lap. I don't know if Strelka's got a quali ban, but he needs to set a lap time. But at the moment, the confirmed Q1 retirees are George Russell and Veyron. Is Aston Martin of Justin? Yeah, Justin. Yeah, he's the only Aston Martin left. Don't know what he's doing. Wait one. Everyone scenarios on a lap time to try and improve his position, and it's been a good turn 1 for him up towards turn 2. We've got Aston Martin up ahead of him, who's not going to get out of the way of him. Well, actually he will on the exit, gets to half decent exit, and up towards turn 3. Using all the track, doesn't touch the inside curve, gets a good exit round turn 4 into turn 5. Opens the steering wide, 5 tenths quit up on his previous lap time into turn 8. Now just 2 more turns left. Turn 9. Doesn't touch the curb, misses the apex on the exit and up towards the line, and sets a 106.6 and is through into Q2. So both Hasses are through into Q2. JW and Isaac, who are both on outlaps at the moment. They will need to make this last lap count, as well as Strielka, who's on an outlap. So these three need to make this lap time count, otherwise they will be out. So 2nd to 4th, both all retired, as they won't need to go out again. Rex is out once again, but Luke and Casper both decide to stay in the pits as they think they have done enough. But will that be the case come the end of the Q1 session, as Owain is on a flying lap now, coming towards turn 3, down into 2nd gear, shifting up the gears towards turn 5 now. Doesn't use all the track. He's 100ths up on his previous lap time, so barely gaining any time, and it's at the moment going to be only P13 for him. Riding the curb on the 2nd to last corner into the final corner, up towards the line, and will set a lap time of 107.2, only enough for P13 for Owain. So has he done enough to get into Q2? Let's find out, as Yemex is on a lap time. Owain drops down to P14 now, as JW goes P13 with 107.0. Yemex and Isaac. Shirko comes into the final 2 corners. He's got to make this lap time count. Final corner, up towards the line, and sets a lap time of 106.5 and is through into Q2. Isaac up towards the line, and he is out in Q1. Yeetmex is through into Q2. Justin is out. Owain is out. And JW just makes it through into Q. Oh, Yemex is in P15. So your drivers that are out are Owain, Justin, Isaac, George Russell, and Veyron, who are all out of the Q1 session. Unlucky all of you. Strielka, waiting for him. I think they're going to box, so we're going to be waiting a while. So yeah, just to confirm, your Q1 lap times and who are out is Owain, missing out by quite a margin to Yeetmex. Justin in P17. Just missing out on P16, but still is out. Isaac is out. George Russell unfortunate, didn't get to set lap time as he said he got hit on the rear. And Veyron has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So we're waiting for Strelka, and that is Q1 over. Saya tops the timesheet of 104.8, followed by Roman, who has 5 drivers get through on the medium tyres. So they had a strategy, and it's paid off for them. But Saya clears Roman by 6 tenths and tops the timesheet in Q1. There has some velocity around the mix, so could we see a shock pole position maybe in Q3 of velocity as he beats Plimble for P4. Vin P5. Luke makes it into Q2. Quite close for him, but he is through into Q2. Emax on a 106, but he retired, and he's behind other drivers. I don't know what that's about, but he's through into Q2. Thank you to the 8 people that are watching. Oh, Emax is out. Okay. There was 20 drivers. Oh, that's why, because George Russell was out. I don't know, but Emax for some reason out. So 14 and a half minutes in Q2. Left in Q2, and your driver first out is Seha. Is going to be first one to set a lap. Which one are you being? That's unsafe release from velocity into the path. Oh no, not velocity. Scenario. Unsafe release from scenario into Plimble's path. Emax, what happened? Because you were through into Q2, but now you're out. I don't know what happened. Why are we losing viewers for? Come on, get those viewers up. At one point we're at 10 viewers. It's not looking good, bruv. As Say comes around the final corner and will start his lap. So coming towards turn 1. Probably get all the Delta stuff up. Oh shit. Oh, that is peak. That is peak for you, Yeetmex. As Say comes towards the end of the first section. Oh my god. Okay. Bit of lag, but hey ho. Say went purple in the first section, but obviously he was the first one to set a lap time as Say comes out into turn 3. He's got a car up ahead of him, so he's got to hope that he doesn't get too affected by the dirty air from the car in front. It seems to be well 45.2 for the middle sector. It's been a quick lap time for him as of yet. He's got 2 more corners to do, keeps it well within track limits. On the exit, up towards the line, nice toe from the car ahead, and we're set at 105.2. Not as quick as his Q1 lap time, but it's up there as Malik, his teammate, is 3 tenths slower than his teammate and is in P2. Pimble then goes P3, a few tenths back from Malik, but is only the first run, so it's F1 scenario. Goes P4, Bruno 6.6. Raptors now. What can he do? As he comes around the final 2 turns, Casper goes P5. So we're just taking the turns as Rapture was on the edge of their day's lap time. Rapture goes P6 with a 106.9. Which is like taking it in turns as then comes around the final corner up towards the line and will set a lap time of a 106.1 and he goes P4. Luke now, can he set a better lap time than his Q1 lap? It's been a good last two turns for him up towards the line and will come across the line and set a 106.5 and goes P5. Just 4 tenths behind his teammate, so it's been a much better Q2 session for Luke, and I'm sure his family will be proud of him for setting that time. As Velocity now goes P6, but 106.4, whereas Revilo, let's call him Revilo, sets the lap time 107.2, so not been a good lap for him. Yeah, Luke, got your, I think most of your family's in this chat, to be honest. Yeah, I think most of your family's in this chat because they're just spamming the comments and go Luke. Luke is in P7. Fire Legend and JW are both on outlaps. Vilo is spun. He's got to be careful as there are cars coming. Fire Legend now is Fire Legend now begins his lap time up towards turn 1, reaching 199 miles an hour before late braking into turn 1. Doesn't use all the curb on the exit. Gets a good run out and up towards turn 2 and the end of the first sector. Purple first sector, a 16.4, sorry. Get a good exit. DRS wide open and up towards turn 3. It's been a good lap as of yet. Well, good first sector for Fire Legend. Rides the curb a little bit, gets a half decent exit and up towards the end of the second sector into turn 5. Not a purple middle sector, 45.9, but it is in the 45s, so he's near enough. He's got like the P5 pace as of yet. One more corner to navigate, rounds the final corner up towards the line and will set a lap time of a 106.4. set goes at P7, knocks Luke down into P8, so Luke will have to go out again if he wants to secure his place in Q3. As JW sets a lap time of 107.8, not a good lap for him as Roman retires with 7 minutes and 50 seconds left of the session. So that was the first round. Plimble is going out again as top 3 retire. So Plimble thinks he can do a better lap time than what he has done. Joker is now starting a lap. I think he's validated both laps. So Raptors, can he get into Q2 and join his teammate into Q2 as of yet? Right now, Raptors cross the line to start his lap up towards turn 1, 197 before late braking, just missed the apex. The inside the apex, so it runs a little bit gets a good exit out of turn 1, sorry. 200 up on his previous time, so is gaining time, but not gaining that much time. So he's going to need to gain more and more and more time in this middle sector if he wants to get out in Q2. he will still have enough time for another lap, but can he get the job done on this lap? Down into the middle, so 46.3. Don't know how much time he was up, as we've got people back in the chat. Rounds the final two corners, he didn't invalidate his lap time up towards the line, and will set a 106.6 and his actual time being in through his Q2, but he will need to go again. So he is not safe as of yet. Casper is on a lap. Casper middle sector, 3 tenths up in his previous lap time, 45.6. And it's been a decent lap for him as of yet. I don't know what you're saying. So I can't calculate as Casper comes across the line and goes P6. So Raptors and Luke both need to go out again. So velocity is out on a lap. As Luke is now coming out for what could be his final lap. Well, could be his final lap, as he came out quite early with 4 minutes left of the session, so maybe he wants to get his lap time over and done with. I will ride back on board with him later on. Who else is on a lap? Velocity, validated, not gaining. I guess we'll just ride the ball with Luke then. Yep, let's ride the ball with Luke. As Luke will come into the final 2 turns. Rounds the final corner and heads towards the line. DRS wide open, heading towards turn 1. Not using all the track, just missed the apex of turn 1 and gets a good exit. He's got a car behind him and is 2 tenths up in his previous lap time, so this could be the lap for him to get in. See himself into Q3 as he now comes down towards turn 3. It's going crazy in the chat as Luke rounds turn 5, runs a bit wide, not the best entrance he wants. Purple middle sector, but it's not actually purple. I didn't see again how much 4 tenths up on his previous lap time. He is flying around here. Oh, he doesn't invalidate his lap time, but he's got to be careful. Runs wide on the last 2 corners, sets his lap time of 106.1 and is up into P5. That should surely see him through into Q3. His family's really well proud of him, and Vim. It's a Merc 5.6, so the Merc's doing a stellar job. As there is 1 minute 56 left of the session. At the moment, Snaro is on the verge of being knocked out in Q2, and as well as Strielka Revelo is going to be out in Q2. unfortunate for him, as but JW is currently on a lap, not gaining any time, and that could be it for him. JW out in Q2. Revelo ain't. I don't think Revelo is going to have enough time to get around with a minute 15 left. It's going to be close for him, but he's left it very late. Strilka currently on a lap in the sector 2, as well as F1 scenario. F1 scenario ahead of Strilka, so Strilka would have gained a toe from the half of Strilka. Now, F1 scenario has invalidated his lap time. F1 scenario invalidated his lap time as it could be out here. He's still got enough time to set another lap time, I believe. I can't see at the moment as there is the yellow flag. Yeah, he's got enough time. As Strilka comes across the line and goes at P5, Lucas actually retired. F1 scenario got to make this lap time count, otherwise he will be out in Q2. F1 fire legends, both Alfa Romeos are on the verge, are at risk. Vin could be knocked out in Q2 here. Revelo is actually on a lap. 2 tenths up on his previous lap time, so it's still not going to be enough to get through into Q3. As Velocity has retired. Is that alright? See you in a bit, Gamba. Is that going to be a mistake from Velocity, as Fire Legend's not gaining any time on his lap time? Maybe he's only went out to help Raptors, but I think it could be over for Fire Legend. Raptors went wide, rounds the final corner. Fire Legend could be knocked out by his teammate. Oh no! Both Alfa Romeos are out, and Revelo does actually get through into Q3 in the McLaren. So the drivers that are knocked out in Q2 are Velocity. Casper just makes it by the skin of his teeth into Q3. Velocity gets knocked out, followed by Fire Legend, but both Alfa Romeos both knocked out in Q2, and JW is knocked out in Q2. What a Q2 that was. As yet again, 3 drivers choose to qualify on the medium tyres, and it has paid off. But Saya only tops the time sheet again, but only by 1/10 this time. It's been a much tighter Q2. As Velocity actually, I forgot to notice that he was up there for Q2 in Q1, but now has actually been knocked out in Q2. That is unfortunate. He was battling for pole position, but is knocked out, but his teammate makes it through in P9. Both Mercs make it through, both Red Bulls, both Ferraris and Alpine, both Alpines and McLaren make it through into Q3. So with 12 minutes left of 12 minutes of Q3, we have 10 drivers. Who will top it? Who will top the timesheet? Will it be Saya, or will it be Roman, or will it be Pinball, or Malik? Is Malik saved some pace that we don't know of? That's another unsafe release from F1 scenario. So down to 5 people. Both Red Bulls are out early. F1 scenario will be the first one out. but won't be the first one to set a lap time, as both Red Bulls looking to get their laps over and done with. As I think everyone other than Vin and Strelka, as well as Casper as well, all go out for their first runs. Vin is now making his way out onto the track, so we have 8 of the 10 drivers out on track. Both Alpines choosing not to go out as of yet, but Casper is now making his way out. His teammate choosing to stay in the pits. So Sarah will be the first one to start his lap, but will give Malik a tow for the first run. Malik coming into turn 1 of riding board with Malik. It's been a shaky turn 1, but is going to pick up a slight tow from his teammate. His teammate's got so much pace around here. Don't know why it does that, but Malik, can the Red Bull boys stick it a 1-2, or can the Ferrari make it 1-2, or will it be a checkerboard once again? Sayers actually aborted his lap and has allowed Malik to keep on going, a 45-2 in the middle sector, but has got the Ferrari of Roman on his tail. So Malik rounds the final 2 corners to complete his first flying lap of Q3 in the Red Bull and sets a lap time of 105.0. What a lap time from Malik! But Roman tops that time. He goes at 104.8. Sayer says 112.4, but is now on another flying lap. He's going to pick up a tow from that Ferrari, and will probably pick up another tow from his teammate as Revelo goes P4, Plimble P3. It's been a shaky turn 2 exit, but purple first sector for Sayer. Rounds turn 3, misses the apex and up towards turn 4, swooping into turn 5, and comes to the end of the middle sector. It's a 45.1, not the quickest middle sector for him, so has that turn 2 exit cost him dear for that middle sector. Just touching the curb on the second to last corner, rounds the final corner up towards the line, and will set a lap time of 104.8, the 600ths behind Roman, who has topped the time sheet. So it's a Ferrari sandwich for the Red Bull, as both Red Bull boys split the Ferraris, followed by Luke, who has set a lap time of 106.1 and is in P5. So this is going to be 2 separate battles of Ferrari and Red Bull, and then it's going to be a battle for 5th place probably, unless there are some retirements in the race. Casper's now beginning. Oh, sets a 106.6. Strelka comes across the line and sets a lap time of 107.0. Poor lap time from him. Justin, I don't know what you're saying, so could you translate that to English? As F1 scenario comes down the final 2 corners. And it validates his lap time on the exit of the second to last corner. So that would have stuck him P, knocking Luke down to P7, but he did invalidate his lap time. So that's the first one, runs done. Malik out once again with 6 minutes 20 seconds left of the session. as Malik now begins his second lap into turn 1. He ain't gonna have a helping hand of the toe from his teammate around this time around. So it's all gonna be about straight on speed as comes to the end of the first sector, 1/10 up on his previous lap time. So it's still only gonna be enough for P3. But we'll move further away from Pinball as Roman is out on an out lap. As Malik comes to the end of the middle sector 2 and is 3/10 up on his previous lap time, so this is going to be enough for possibly a provisional pole. And if he can nail this last corner, get a good exit. I don't know if this lags, but it comes across the line, goes pole position by 1/10. This could be an interesting last 4 minutes as Roman is now on a lap. 1/10 up on his previous lap time, so he is on for provisional pole now as he comes up to turn 3. As well as Sayer, who is on a lap time now. As Roman is flying at the moment, comes round the final 2 corners and will come up to the line and will set a lap time of a 1:04.6 and beats Malik's time by a 10th. Can Sayer do something to stop Roman getting that pole position? 2/10 up in his previous lap time, so he's got to have a really good last 2 corners. As there's 3 minutes left of the session, so I don't know if he'll have to bolt it back to the pits and set a new set of tyres. As he's invalidated his lap time, he would have set a 1:04.5, but he's invalidated his lap time. That's really unfortunate. He's got to bolt it back to the pits now to set on a fresh set of tyres. The Pinball's out on a out lap. Will Say have enough time to set one more lap, or would have Roman done enough to get pole position in for the Austrian Grand Prix? Luke is on an out lap as they're both blocking the track. Luckily no cars behind them. Maybe Pinball blocked Luke's lap. I'm not too sure. As Luke's chipping out of the way of Pinball. What can Luke do as they are now boxes with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left? Yeah, he ain't gonna have enough time, I don't think. It's gonna be really close for him. As Vin is now coming out. As Pinball now starts a lap time. Gets good exit out of turn 1. Up towards turn 2 in the end of the first sector. 1 minute 50 left of the session. Pinball rounds turn 2. Is Sayer coming out? I don't think Sayer's coming out, but Roman is coming out. Pinball up towards turn 4 into turn 5. Keep flicking, and Sayer is coming out for one more lap. As Pinball has ready his lap time, would have gained 2/10, but not going to be enough. Luke up to the last 2 turns. Can he do his family proud and stick that Mercedes any higher, or will it only be enough for P6 as he runs just a little bit wide up to the line. 105.7, but not gaining any positions, only enough for P6 in this quality session. So Luke at the moment only high enough for P6. Really unfortunate for him, as Vin is now on a lap. Sayer with 30 seconds left of the session is on it. Outlap Roman. It's going to be close for Sayer. As Roman runs the final corner to start his lap. Final flying lap, as well as Malik and Sayer, who runs the final corner. All three drivers. Sayer does make it to the line in time. As Roman loses it on the exit and has finished his lap. Roman can't improve his lap time. Malik's going to get a lovely slipstream from that car up ahead. I think it's the Alpine, one of the Alpine drivers. Sayer, can Malik or Sayer spoil the party and take that pole position away from Roman? Malik rounds turn 5. He's not going to get too affected. 3, he's not gaining any time. He's not gaining any time. So maybe that Alpine is slowing him down. Sayer, purple middle sector, as Malik aborts his lap. Sayer just 2 more turns now. Can he take pole position away from Roman? Roman will be begging right now, as a Ferrari's just parked it near enough on the racing line as it comes across the line, and it's only enough for P2. Has that Ferrari ruined Sayer's lap? I'm sure Sayer will be at the FIA right now, complaining to Pimble about that. He must have put him off going into the final corner, and it's only enough for P2. So Roman tops the timesheet of 104.6, only 300 quicker than Sayer. Then in 10th behind Sayer comes Malik. So Roman tops the timesheet, 104.6 for the Rosayer. Malik, Plimble, Vin and Luke goes P5 and 6. It's a Ferrari sandwich for the Red Bulls. F1 scenario goes P7, P8 and 9 for the Alpines of Strelka and Casper, and Revilo goes P10 of the 106.0 in the McLaren. So that is quali over, and it's now all that's left is the race. Don't know if there's possible rain in this race, but it is doom and gloom around this Australian Grand Prix. Will that be doom and gloom for the top 3, or will it be sunshine and everything that goes in favour for the top 3? Who will come out victorious? We'll have 36 laps to find out. As the formation lap gets underway. Slow formation lap start. So there is your standings just to confirm. Roman tops the timesheet, followed by Saya Malik, then Plimble, Vin, Luke, F1 Scenario, Strelka, Casper, Revelo, Velocity, Fire, Legend and Raptors both out in Q2. And in P12 and 13, JW and P14, BMX, unfortunate from a game bug. I think this was the way to start playing. That came back. Oh no. BMX in P15, away in P16. We drive for me. Yeah. Justin away in P16. Justin P17, Isaac P18, George Russell in P19 and Veyron in P20. Sam, did you want to commentate with me? Let me do tires. George Russell mediums. Sam, did you want to commentate with me? So I can invite you to a session, and then yeah, you can commentate with me. But you have to be like quite loud. I can join you here, sound. Are you able to talk loud tonight, or are you able to talk loud tonight or not? Yeah, I'll start the race and then I'll invite you. As the drivers are now lined up for the Austrian Grand Prix, three drivers from gets disqualified from the session. Alright, sound. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. Roman doesn't get away well, but say gets an amazing start, followed by Malik into turn 1. Roman drops down 2 positions from the start. Luke up into P5, up into P4 now, Luke. It's an absolute stonking start from Luke, who is up into P4. Now we get Roman as both Red Bulls are battling. What are they doing? The new teammates are both battling each other for the race lead, and it's only lap 1 as Malik up into P1 already. I don't think Sam is going to be too happy with the Red Bull boys, as Roman has had a shocking start and is dropped down into P3. P4 comes Luke, F1 Snowy and Velocity both had amazing starts in P5 and 6. Vin in P7. Fire Legend as Casper has spun. Casper has spun as well as Revelo. Casper and Revelo have both spun. I don't know if there was contact between the two, but they have both spun. Malik sets fire sub as Strelka is now spun. It's a 1 stop for the mediums, 2 stop for the mediums to the hards. Medium, hard, but I don't know about 3. I don't know what's going on with the soft tyres, as it could be a 2 stop. But Malik takes P1 away from Saya, as they are new teammates. As Vin looking to try and gain some edge back into this race, away and up into P12. Paz and Veyron. Sam's in the comments absolutely screaming at the 2 Red Bull boys not to fight, as Owain and Veyron are having an amazing battle side by side through the middle sector, and somehow they haven't made contact. Veyron went to go for the switchback. He does get the switchback as Owain goes wide a bit, as but Justin has spun, keeps it out of the barriers, but it will lose a huge amount of positions. Owain up into P11, P12 comes Veyron, but is under pressure from Raptors, who dives down the inside of Veyron, and it's up into P12. Now Isaac putting Veyron under pressure. Veyron is losing positions like a baby getting his candy taken why did I say sweets taken away from him. Raptors spun on the exit of turn 1. Plimble up into P9, trying to gain gain some positions off the sides. He lost a huge amount of time. Saya gets back into P1, but Malik and Saya still fighting for that P1 position. Both of them want the P1, but they're not allowing each other. They're not working together as teammates. So it's acting like they're still rivals in two different teams. Raptors gets up into P16, but meanwhile, while those two are fighting, Roman is closing the gap slowly but surely. Isaac comes into P12. Plimble has got a lot of work to do if he wants to get back into this race. It looks very dark around here. Saya takes the fastest lap of the race, 107.9. What the Red Bull boys have to do is work together to get away from Roman, but Roman, his straight line speed is slowly coming back. His VIN, I believe, is spun on the exit of turn 1. I think he's kept out of the barrier, but it's not looking good. But Luke is doing well to keep ahead of F1 scenario, as Roman closing, getting ever close to Malik, but can't find a way past him. As it's starting to rain now. There is rain on lap 4. So, could we see some early stops for intermediate tyres? Some undercut straps. As the rain is getting really heavy now. DRS has now been disabled as Roman pulls the trigger, boxes first, and will get a huge gain when when droplets start to settle on the track, as Roman will be the first man on the intermediate tyres. And look at how many people are boxing now for those inters. Top 6 are still staying out, as they still think it's dry enough to carry on. Up to P8 is now carried on, but those hard tyres will probably have way more grip than what everyone else will. Striel gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So yeah, Roman pulls the trigger early. Track seems to be dampening up quite fast, so Roman's made a gamble. Will that gamble pay off? Will Saya box, or will Malik box? As Saya does box first, so Malik will carry on for another lap on those soft tyres. No, he actually boxes, so the Red Bull boys are going to double stack. Malik is dropping off, needed to drop off far, as they're not gonna be able to get the double stack done in time. I will invite you in a sec. Invite.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Hello, George. I don't know if I've got you. Are you able to join via my profile?
Yeah, let me just have a look.
Hang on, let me see if I'm online. Yeah, I'm appearing online. So, there's yellow flag sector 2, and I don't know who it is. I think it's Revelo. Yeah, I think it is Revelo who is boxes. All the drivers that are now out on the inter tyres. Are you able to join via my?
Yeah, I'm just joining.
Right, sound. So, Saya is actually kept ahead of Roman, but Malik, doing that double stack, has lost 2 positions, as Luke is on the podium. Luke is on the podium and is up into P3, but will be under pressure soon. Luke will be under pressure soon from Malik, so that podium's gonna have to last while it can. Both Hasses up in P5 and 6. As there's yellow flags. As Justin has spun, has lost his front wing. Luckily not to be out of the race, as Revilo has chose to box for a set of wet tyres.
Ah, how's it gone to what? Literally 2 seconds ago it was dry.
So Luke is still under pressure from Malik, but Vin starting to work his way back up the pack and is up into P10. He's got a long way to go. Same with Plimble, who is now on the back of F1 Scenario. It's not going to be easy to overtake around here now. It's wet conditions, so all the drivers will have to be careful as Plimble gaining ever closer towards F1 Scenario, and there could be a move into turn 1 on this lap.
Well, yeah, he hasn't completely been lit yet. It's always a job. Right, there we go, and then I'm in the lobby now.
Alright, so Plimble coming down towards turn 1, 2 tenths behind F1 Scenario. He doesn't make a move, stays behind, gets a really good exit out of turn 1, right up F1 Scenario's gearbox, ERS deployed. Malik gets past Luke and is up into P3. Plimble chooses to go round the outside. And as he got the move done, he's still side by side with F1 Scenario.
And Plimble's in front. Plimble's in front. Oh, he's in the moments to back. Plimble's there. Heading down into turn 4. Slam on the damn thing.
Plimble gets F1 Scenario and is up into P6. Luke has dropped down to P4, but he's probably struggling with those intermediate tyres. He's probably got a dry setup on and is falling behind. As Vin is now spun and is lost 2 positions. So every time he's gaining positions, he's just losing all the time. As say, it's got a gap of 2 seconds and it's just really dominating dominating now. As Revilo is now spun once again and is 1 lap down on a set of wet tyres. Spun once again and has got front wing damage. So I think he's going to retire now. I think it's George Rogers. I think it's Sam's in next one again. As Saya now is coming up to a back marker of Justin, I believe. Yeah, it is going to be Justin. So Justin on lap 8 will get lapped. And soon Casper will be lapped as Ratchet gets up into P13. As the lights focusing on Justin as Owain gets 3-second time penalty. As Roman starting to slowly close the gap to Saya, 1.5 the gap now. As Casper's now spun on the exit of turn 2. Luke still in P4, keeping maintaining a gap to Velocity, but Luke doing an amazing job to keep that P4. Violation gets 3-second time penalty, but there's if there was DRS, there would be a DRS train starting to form up. But there is no DRS in this wet condition. Saya on lap 11 continues to lead the race, and the gap is now shot back up to 2 seconds. So they're dominating this race once again. Justin gets a 3-second time penalty. And Vin starting to gain places once again, battling with Isaac for P9, as Isaac trying to keep his nose in, and does 3-second time penalty for Isaac for exceeding track limits, but Vin and Isaac going neck and neck, side by side, up towards turn 2. Isaac pushing Vin towards the inside, trying to make the line tighter, but Vin has got a really good exit. Isaac not so much, but Vin has spun and has lost his front wing, and now all his hard work is now gone to waste as he drops down to P12 and has lost his front wing and will have to box for a new front wing. It's not going Vin's way today, but on the other hand, Luke is having an absolute amazing race, living life up in P4, but Plimble is on a charge and is on the back of Velocity, 2/10 the gap now. And so will it be a carbon copy of what Plimble done on Velocity's teammate? ERS slipstream down the inside of Velocity, and it will be a carbon copy of what Plimble did to Velocity. Plimble scenario, as Vin has now retired in the box and has had enough of racing. Wouldn't be surprised, as every time he gains positions he just loses it all, as Casper now boxes for the full wets. Casper retires as well, so we've got 3 retirees in this session. So he has got the gap up to 2 seconds and 7 tenths. I don't know why I said that. 2 and a bit tenths. 2 and a bit seconds. I'm losing that. It's not. Ow. As Plimble closing the gap to Luke, trying to spoil Luke's fun, living life up in P4, but Plimble is on a charge. 1.5 to gap now to Luke, 1.4. Plimble has got way too much pace, and I said this would be a battle between Red Bull and Ferrari. But once Plimble does get past Luke, he has got a gap of 6 seconds to gain up to Malik. Wayne gets P10 over Veyron, but does have a 3-second time penalty. So Luke, I bet he's in his cockpit now, watching that time gap come down rapidly, as in the space of pretty much a lap, Plimble has gained pretty much 2 seconds to Luke. That is ridiculous. Malik in P3, not really battling anyone. Raptors gets a 3-second time penalty, but yeah, Malik not really battling anyone. Racing, doing his own race, as Raptors has now spun after getting a 3-second time penalty. Still in this race, still is going, but is on the verge of could be soon being lapped in this race, as he boxes for a new front wing, I believe, and will most likely get lapped now. JW up into P12 over Strielka, and there's not really anything that's happening other than Plimble, who's now 4 tenths away from Luke. Gap coming down massively in the final 2 turns. Plimble all over the back of Luke. Could it be another carbon copy of what Plimble done to the Haas drivers? It's right on board with him as he comes round the first turn. Gets on the power. Isaac overtakes the Yeet Max. It's not going to be as easy as a pass than what Pinball would have thought. That Merc got loads of straight line speed compared to the Ferrari. But both of them are using ERS, but Luke barely has any ERS as Pinball looks to go down the inside of Luke and takes out Luke, but saves Luke from spinning fully as he gives the position back to Luke. But that is an audacious dive from Pinball as he's now dropped back in and will have to try and go again, as that has now allowed Velocity to catch back up. As the gap is now 1.2 to Pinball, but Pinball will have another go at Luke. Luke gets a poor exit, it gets a really, well, a decent exit actually over Pinball, but Pinball has got the ERS down the inside of Luke, forces him wide, goes off track himself, so he's forced another driver off track, gives the position back as well. But meanwhile, whilst they're battling, Velocity is now getting in the mix of this, as Luke now has to give the position back. I think Luke will be on the radio asking for Pinball to give that position back to him after he forced him off track, as well as going off track as well. So there could be a penalty coming his way towards the end of the race. We are on lap 16 of 26, 20 laps to go. Now 19. As Pinball has got now a 10-second gap to gain up to Malik. And 20 laps, it's going to be a long time. Luke gets 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. If you're just tuning in or have been watching from the start, if you've been watching from the start, I hope you've been enjoying this. Want to grab a drink or anything? Go ahead, because still got a long way to go in this race. As Casper has now left the session, so the gap now 4/10 to Luke. Fire Legend spins on the final two corners, which has allowed Strelka to get up into P13. They are controlling the race pace and is leading by 5 seconds, not putting a foot wrong, and is absolutely flying. Yellow flags at the top of this hill, and it's JW and Vystrelka, both of them spinning. I don't know if any of them are out. No, they're still going, probably lost their front wing. As Bayron gets a 3-second time penalty. George Russell is now boxed. Oh, this is AI. So a set of wet tyres. So AI think it is actually time for wet tyre run. As Luke and Velocity are both battling for that P5. Venice going back. As Luke forcing Velocity close. As Luke tries to go around the outside but can't keep the position, and is dropped down into P6, so in the space of about 4 laps he has lost 2 positions and is down, well, yeah, in about 4 laps he's lost 2 positions and is down in P6 from P4 as he boxes now, and we'll stay on board for him to see what he boxes onto. As Joker now boxes for a set of wet tyres, so could it be a wet tyre period Let's see what he boxes onto. It's going to be a set of wet tyres. So even Luke think it's wet tyre conditions as the track is starting to dampen up quite a lot now. Is it time for wet conditions? Or are the drivers gambling on more rain to come in this race? Sayo seems to be struggling as 3 more people are in the box, and they are boxing onto a set of wet tyres as well, so it is wet conditions now, full wet conditions. As Sayo will box, but Roman chooses to stay out on the intermediate tyres, as well as Malik. Will Pimble stay out as well, or will Pimble box? With Sayo, Pimble chooses to stay out as well. So Sayo taking a gamble, choosing to stay out. Sayo choosing to box for a set of wet tyres. So most drivers choosing to stay out on the inters, but other drivers. Oh my god. What the hell happened? I thought someone was went straight into the barriers, man. Anyway, Malik is actually close up to Roman. So Roman is probably struggling a lot on those intermediate tyres. Clearly Malik, these are the conditions that Malik likes and is strong in, as he's gaining and gaining and gaining on Roman through the corners. Will Roman box? Will Malik box? Roman chooses to stay out on the intermediate tyres, but it is full wet conditions now, as Sayo is closing the gap, as Malik cruises the rear on the exit of the second to last corner. And there is yellow flags as Sayo has spun. Sayo has spun, which has allowed Pimble back into the race. Is what's going on? Sayo and Pimble are having a bit of a miscommunication and is losing time to P1 and 2. Oh, there's yellow flags in the safety car. I was wondering why they were slowing down, but there is a safety car, so the intermediate drivers are going to have a free pit stop, and if Roman has a good stop, he will keep P1, but if Malik has an amazing stop, he can maybe take P1 away from Roman and pass him in the pits, as F1 Scenario boxes for a new set of wet tyres. Or for a set of wet tyres, I don't know if he boxed for wet tyres previously. But the inter drivers will have a free pit stop now, as Justin now boxes for intermediate tyres. So meanwhile Justin is boxing for inters, everyone else is boxing for wet tyres. There is a lot of tyre changes going on here, as G-Max boxes for inters. What is going on? People boxing for inters, people boxing for wets. As Malik gets up into P1, but Roman gets past. Oh, Sayers actually got ahead of Roman and is up into P2, so both Red Bulls up into P2, P1 and 2, and Wayne gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but we'll have a couple of laps under the safety car now, so I'll take a break whilst the safety car is out. As we're still waiting for tries to catch up on lap 23. We've got two groups, one with the safety car and another group catching up. As the safety car will come in this lap. Whilst the rest of the pack is catching up now. We will have just 12 laps of racing. So Malik will be the one getting us away for the safety car restart. As Malik has gone now, Malik has gone, gets to jump over Saya and Roman, and it's now got a 1 second gap already. Near enough 2 second gap over Saya. He basically gets 3 second time penalty off the safety car restart, and is Roman loses the rear and is on the grass and has now been overtaken by both Velocity and Plimble. So are those inter tyres not up to temperature for both Ferraris now, as both of them go wide at turn 1, and Luke up into P5 on the wet tyres, as there is now clearly puddles forming on the track. So clearly it is wet tyre conditions now, as this has got to be the most easiest pass Saya will ever make up into P1 on over his teammate, and it is clearly wet, full wet conditions now. So wet tyre runners are going to be gaining a huge advantage over the inter runners, as F1 Scenario makes an amazing move over Plimble. Oh, that was really close as Plimble loses the rear on the exit of turn 5. Luke almost smashes into the back of Plimble, as Plimble is now holding up Luke. So Luke is going to be needing to get past Plimble as soon as possible, as he dives down the inside of Plimble. These two are having an amazing battle, as Luke is up into P5 and can now hunt down Scenario. As Velocity gets 3 second time penalty, as Malik is now under pressure for Velocity. Velocity up into P2. So the wet tyre runners absolutely living life right now, whereas Malik isn't, as he runs deep into turn 2. And Velocity, with a 3-second time penalty, is up into P2. Malik in P3, but it's going to be under pressure soon from F1 Scenario as they go through the middle sector. The full wet tire runners are going to be gaining and gain so much through this middle sector over the inter tires. As Scenario is all over the back of Malik, as Malik is placing his car well. As Scenario almost pushing Malik through that double left-hander as F1 Scenario gets past Malik and it is up in both Hasses are on the podium positions. But will that be the case come the end of the race as Luke is now catching up to Malik? So Malik has had a stinker and is just losing position after position. Well, all intermediate tyre runners has had a stinker, and as Luke catching, will he make a move down the inside? No, he chooses to stay behind just for now, hoping that Malik will make a mistake, but he gets a better run out of turn 2, a really good run out of turn 2, and is up into P4 and now can get after F1 Scenario. Really close, but Malik has kept his car there as he forces Luke wide, but Luke gets the switch back over Malik and is up into P4. But Luke has got a 3-second time penalty as well, so who will be on the podium come the end of the race, because this could be anyone's podium as of yet. Isaac has spun on the entrance of on the entry of turn 5. Lots of podiums lots of points going to the drivers this race, as there are only 6, well, can't really class 5 George Russell, but 5 drivers without penalties. But we started with 20 and are now left with 17 as Malik is dropped far behind and is now being looking to be overtaken by a lapped car. But Sayah living life up in front and has got an 8-second gap to the car behind. As it stands, F1 Scenario will come P2 in this race if he stays within 3 seconds, but he's made a mistake which has allowed Luke to gain up to him. So has Velocity done enough to keep that P2? There is your penalty points, penalties. 3 seconds for 7th, 4th and 2nd. 6 penalties for 9th and 10th. As there's yellow flags, and I think that's for the McLaren of Isaac, and then the rest of them have got 3-second time penalties. Can Luke make his get past Scenario, or can Scenario catch up to the back of his teammate Velocity? As the gap is now 2 tenths between F1 Scenario and Luke. This could turn into a great battle with only 6 laps remaining. It looks like Velocity will end up getting that P2 unless he makes a mistake in these last 6 laps. 8 tenths a gap now. But as Yemex is now retired, so in the pits, so we're now down to 16 runners. Let's get back to the tyres. So it looks like the track is starting to ease off now, and Inter's still. It's a tough one at the moment for some drivers, as both cars seem to be really quick at this stage in the race. But Malik still within that 3 seconds of Luke. So at the moment, Luke will be finishing P6 in this race with that 3 second time penalty. So he desperately needs to get past Scenario and get a move on if he wants to score some good points this race. 5 laps to go. Malik closing the gap now. So clearly those Inters are starting to work for those two drivers. Plimble is all over the back of Malik. As there's yellow flags in sector 2. As oh no, Luke spun. Oh no, Luke has spun, has dropped down to P8. So unfortunate for him. He was running in such a good position and is now dropped down into P8. So both Hasses, who have both got time penalties actually, in the points podium position. But only one of them will be on the podium today. As Plimble and Malik are both battling now. So this is actually going to help F1 Scenario get away. But that is a lovely move from Plimble around the outside of Malik. Doesn't waste any time and is all now pretty much on the back of F1 Scenario. So clearly the Inters are now starting to work for the drivers. As Raptors is spun now. And that's on the wet, so clearly it could be intermediate tyres now, as Plimble is all over the back and is getting more grip out of the corners. Will there be a move soon as Luke boxes for the intermediate tyres? Will we see pit stops, or will the wet runners stick it out to the end on those wet tyres? As Luke is now scoring just only 1 point in this race. Really unfortunate for him. As Pibble makes a move around the outside of F1 Scenario to make contact. As Pimble gets up onto the podium as Spirling gets another 3 second time penalty. And Pimble can now get after Velocity with only 3 laps remaining. This is going to be close. Will any of the Haas drivers be on the podium, or will it be another Red Bull 1-3 and a Ferrari on the podium? Pitbull is going to be hunting down Velocity, but Malik closing onto Scenario. Today would have been Haas's week if the rain just kept on falling heavily. But it's been unfortunate for him, and it's now going to pieces. 3.3 seconds now the gap, and the time is just going down as the F1 Scenario gets the switch back over Malik, but this is allowing Roman to get back into the race. This could be a 3-way battle for the podium if they can get past this Haas. As Pimble now 2 seconds, 1 second, the gap is slowly wets for Raptors. Raptors on wet as he crashes. That's a dumb decision to do, but okay, you do you. As Malik gets a half decent exit, but Roman gets a much better exit over Malik. Could there be a move down into turn 1 for either driver? No, they choose to stay behind going into turn one. Both looking to get a good exit. Roman gets a really good exit over Malik. Malik under pressure from Roman. Was trying to pressure F1 scenario, squeezing Roman towards the line as F1 scenario goes wide. Comes back onto the track very dangerously with both Roman and Malik pretty much side by side going on an exit as Roman gets up into P4 as Malik makes a dive bomb trying to follow Roman through and is up into P5 now, but F1 scenario is coming back at Malik. Will this be a switchback move from Malik? No, he's losing so much time behind that Haas driver. The Haas driver is making it so easy for the Ferrari drivers as Plimble making a move around the outside. This will be a sensational move from Plimble and he gets the job done. 15 seconds to gap now, 2 laps remaining, 1 lap to go now. Can Plimble, it's not going to be a race win for Plimble, but how much can he gain in the space of the next 2 laps when he gets a really good exit and finally he's not getting the job done. He's still side by side with F1 scenario as he gets the job done now into turn 2, parks his car on the exit and can get away and is up into P5 in this race. He's got a 2-second gap now. No, oh my god, no Haas drivers are going to be on the podium. No Haas drivers are going to be on the podium. It's going to be a Red Bull and 2 Ferraris. Oh, it's really unfortunate for both Haas drivers getting time penalties and choosing to stay on those wet tyres. Australia gets 3-second time penalty and all they're going to be scoring now is it's only going to be enough for P5 and 6 for both Haas drivers, but it is really good points for the drivers and the team. But Sayar, he's got a 13-second gap so he can take his time over this lap and it's cruising to the finish line on those wet tyres. It's pretty much bone dry now at the end of this race. Intermediate tyres will be favoured now, but that's not going to scare Sayar at all as he took the lead of the race, battled with Malik at the start of the race and hasn't really looked back since. Roman had a moment in the lead, but Sayar got the jump over him in the pit stop when he got to the wet phase and he's just done the job he needs to do and hasn't looked back ever since as he comes round the final corner yet again to win the Austrian Grand Prix. 11 seconds to Plimble. Plimble rounds the final 2 corner after having a shocking start at the start of the Grand Prix, losing a huge amount of positions, comes home in P2. What a drive from him. Roman losing out to both Red Bulls and Merck comes home in P3, followed by Velocity and Malik, who will get P4 in this race. Both Haas drivers finishing P5 and 6. Veyron, I think, comes home in P7, followed by Wayne and Isaac. Let me have a look at points. No, not points, penalties. So Luke will actually be will get P9. Luke will get P9 in this race. Isaac gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings at the end of the race, but it's not going to matter as Luke will get P9, away in P8, Isaac P10, Strielka will come in P11. What a race that was. Driver of the day has to be Plimble, but Veyron for the game is driver of the day. My driver of the day goes to Plimble. Congratulations, Plimble. And I won't do interviews today. Jeez, look at the amount of penalties that is. Jesus Christ. Even off the whole grid, other than the top 4, have penalties. That is your race, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all tomorrow for ECR. Good night.